Everyone loves talking about the money you make in door-to-door sales, but nobody wants to talk about the part that you want to quit every single week for the first month. You wake up exhausted from the previous days, or the shifts that you go hours without a single yes. Those days actually break you. And a lot of people see the paychecks, the cool Instagram stories, but they never see the part where it's your first week and you're standing just right across your customer on their doorstep and you're figuring out on your head, am I doing the right thing? It's funny. But today I want to show you that. Today I want to show you the real part. I want to show you not the highlight story, not the cool glamorous thing or fancy stuff, but the actual real truth. Welcome back to the whiteboard. Today in a new lesson, we're going to be talking about the silhouette of door-to-door sales. You know, if you ask every single manager or every single person who has done door-to-door sales to explain you the job, they will figure out a way to do it different than every other person. Today, I want to explain you the pyramid. Now, it's not a pyramid scheme, that's for sure, but it's a pyramid. Why? Because there's 3 layers in that structure that are basically the backbone of a just successful summer that leads to a successful rep. So let's start with the bottom, and you cannot build on top without you solidifying your previous layer. So emotional tolerance, what does that mean? And these were 95% people crash. That's why most people quit on the first 2 to 3 weeks, because it's basically how much rejection can you handle? How much discomfort can you tolerate? How much can you put yourself on that uncomfortable situation and just holding tight? How many no's can you get before you leave the door, the day, or the summer? Now, most people fail this area because they don't know how to handle their emotions. All that weight, all that pressure of consistent rejection, it is hard to just hold. And if you don't know how to do that, then it breaks you. So door-to-door will test you from the very first day. You knock, if it's raining, if it's cold, it doesn't matter the weather, it doesn't matter if it's snow outside, it doesn't matter that people tell you no 35 times, it tests you, right? And you have to keep working. It doesn't matter if the day before was pretty ass, you still have to show up the next day. So it tests you continuously. And the reason why people say, oh, door-to-door changed my life, it's because of that. This is what they're talking about. It's them explaining, I was not able to keep pushing, but I was able to control and manage myself. So I did one step more, and that changed my whole trajectory. So that's probably why. Now we go into the second layer, and it's a skill execution. And you know what? Let me do a side note here. You will hear at some point that solving objections, most of the times 80 to 90% is just mindset, and 10-20% is just the actual word track. I think it's just kind of like the same thing. It just came to my mind. But a skill execution, this is where when your emotional foundation is stable, you can start building on top of it, basically what to say. And this is where you learn the right questions, tonality, your taste, your voice, your body language, how to read people, how to overcome objections, how to pitch switchovers, how to pitch just a new homeowner, you name it. But this is really important because, like I said, everything builds on top. If you don't have a good emotional tolerance, then it is really hard for you to build that execution or that skill set needed to close. Because as soon as somebody challenges you, then you stop, you freeze, and then you don't know what to say. So that's why it's really important. But as soon as you have this solid, it's really powerful because then you're flowing. You know what to say every single time, every single door. Now, last but the most important part, this is where you become that identity. Okay, this is where the top reps, the golden doors, the top performers, the top of the leaderboard live. Why? Because this is something they become. it's not something they do, it's something they are. Meaning, rejection doesn't affect them. That uncomfortable zone doesn't affect it. Confidence becomes baseline. Pressure feels normal. You can talk to every single person you see on the street. You know how to close. You can sell every single time you have a green in front of you. You make money everywhere. That's why a lot of people who do door-to-door sales and they exit, they're great leaders, great business owners, great entrepreneurs, you name it. They're able to use their emotional tolerance and their skill set to become that person or to create whatever XYZ business they want to do at elite level. So this is where they created their identity at the very top. Now, I wanted to just have some side notes here on each layer. Why? Because on your pyramid, here is where you're learning how to survive. Like you're surviving. You're in fight or flight mode every single day. But then it comes to a point that you're good at this. You can calm yourself. You can control yourself and your environment. Then you can sharpen the saw. You get good at your skill set. And finally, you become that person. You become the person who's able to go there and close as you please. So let me test you real quick. Once again, if tomorrow they will fire you from your job, could you make income? Could you make money right away? If the answer is no, then this should be a wake-up call. It's just awareness. Remember, the most important thing for you is to understand where you at standing right now, and if you can develop something with what you have. And if you can't, then you should learn the skill set. And the easiest skill that you can learn is sales. How? Joining a sales team or joining door-to-door sales. Now, that was it for today. If any of this made sense to you, if you resonated with this, if you're interested in learning a little bit more and you want to just know about the company that we work for, or you want to join our summer program for 2026, there is a link in the description. Click on it, watch the video. If that's something for you, just apply. If it's not, at least you'll learn about another opportunity. But I appreciate you for watching. More to come always. I'll catch you guys in the next one.